Discover the incredible transformation. Millionaire reveals hidden love with slum girl at 18. Alex Mitchell sat in the lavish boardroom of his tech empire, the city lights of Chicago shining beneath him, a stunning skyline of wealth and power. Yet behind the boardroom's polished glass, his mind drifted to a summer he'd long buried, a summer filled with warmth, laughter, and a girl named Mia, who turned his structured life upside down. He could still hear the echoes of her laughter, feel the warmth of her spirit brushing against his privilege like a cool breeze on a scorching day. That summer had been a lifetime away. It wasn't just a fling. No, it was sweeter, purer. A connection that sparked in the most unlikely of places. Their worlds did not just clash. They intertwined like ivy climbing an old brick wall, vibrant and alive. Mia was fierce, a girl with big dreams and the determination to rise above the sludge of her surroundings. Alex, cloaked in the comfort of extravagant dinners and elite parties, had come to understand what true resilience looked like. But life had its way of pushing them apart. As he graduated high school, the pressure from his affluent family wrapped around him like a suffocating suit. They expected him to climb higher, to chase the success that lay ahead. So when he landed that prestigious internship, the road to the heights of Silicon Valley called to him, drowning out the whispers of a girl he once held close. His heart ached, but ambition carved its place deep inside him. Fast forward nearly 2 decades, now a millionaire, Alex found himself at a charity event back in his old neighborhood. Nostalgia hit him like a tidal wave. Laughter and music swirled like confetti through the vibrant crowd. But that wasn't what made his heart race. No, it was the sight of her. Mia stood at a booth, her fire unmistakable, now a leader transformed. The excitement of their reunion was immediate, but so was the tight knot of unfinished business tugging at his chest. Alex. Her voice struck like lightning. The chemistry sparkled in the air, but it was laced with uncertainty. As they spoke, the easy banter they once shared felt thick and strained. "You've done well for yourself," Mia said, her smile warm, but there was a shadow behind it. Memories flooded back, bitter reminders of the tears he had caused. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue." As they veered into conversation, words turned raw. Mia challenged him, pointed out his betrayals, reminding him she was no longer the girl who needed saving. She was thriving and fierce. Just as hope lingered, a friend's thoughtless comment shattered the moment, reminding them of their worlds apart. In an instant, Mia stormed off, leaving Alex wrestling with despair and regret. Standing amidst the throng of laughter and music, Alex felt a hollow ache. He had gained the world and lost the light that had once illuminated his path, a love born amidst chaos and struggle. The night cloaked him like a silent promise, whispering questions he was afraid to face. Could he bridge the chasm he had created? Did he have the courage to embrace a love worth fighting for? As doubt gnawed at him, the city lights flickered, a stark reminder of the connection he was desperate to reclaim. The music pulsed like a heartbeat, but Alex felt muted, as if he was trapped in a glass box while life swirled around him. The laughter, the chatter of old friends, all faded into a distant echo. He watched Mia disappear into the crowd, her silhouette lost in the festive chaos, and his heart sank. "Hey man, you okay?" It was Ryan, his longtime friend and co-founder, who sensed the mood shift. Alex forced a smile, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Just reminiscing." "About her?" Ryan asked, glancing toward where Mia had vanished. "Dude, you should go after her. Clear the air." After all these years, Alex trailed off, his voice thick with uncertainty. What could he say? How could he make her understand that the young man she knew had lost sight of the important things? Every second that passed felt like an eternity, with regret anchoring him in place. Ryan placed a hand on his shoulder. "Look, Alex, you can't just ignore this. Didn't you say she was the only one who really got you?" His friend's words cut deep. "I thought I'd left that behind." Ryan scoffed. "You couldn't have left it behind if you're still packed with all that guilt. You've got a chance to fix this, man." Alex took a deep breath, chasing away the whirlwind of emotions inside him. The weight of his past pressed heavily on his shoulders, but perhaps drowning in it wasn't the answer. What was he afraid of? Rejection or the reality that he might love her still? The answer rattled in his chest as he rushed toward the exit, desperation propelling every step. The crowded street rolled out before him, lights twinkling like stars against the night sky. He scanned the sidewalks, searching for a glimpse of her. Each face fell short of what he was looking for. A pang of panic washed over him. What if she'd already slipped away into the night? Mia! He called out, his voice strained and filled with hope. There she was, standing under the dim light of a street lamp, her expression caught between anger and sadness. "Alex," she said, her voice a whisper, yet it vibrated with tenacity. "I'm sorry," he began, his heart racing. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I should have fought harder for us." "Fought harder?" she asked, her brow furrowing. "You left me without a second thought. All I was to you was some summer fling." "No." He stepped closer, wishing to breach the invisible barrier between them. "You were everything to me. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was supposed to succeed, but every achievement felt hollow without you." Her eyes softened briefly but quickly hardened again. "And now? Now you think I should just forgive and forget?" "No, not forget," he countered, taking a risk by reaching for her hand. To his surprise, she didn't pull away. "I want to build something real, something we both deserve. I'm not that boy anymore, Mia. I've grown, but I want to grow with you." The air crackled with tension. Could she see the sincerity in his eyes? Could they bridge this gap that had stretched too long? Before he could decipher her reaction, a voice erupted from the crowd behind them. "Mia!" It was a tall man with an easy smile, stepping forward with an air of familiarity. "There you are. I was looking everywhere for you." Mia's eyes darted towards the newcomer, and Alex's heart twisted at the sight of the instant change in her demeanor. And suddenly, he understood there were new layers to her life that he knew nothing about. Fighting disbelief and confusion, he wrestled with his emotions. Other people and perhaps even another life lay in her world now. "Alex," Mia's voice shook slightly as she turned back to him, her expression indecipherable. In that moment, Alex felt the gulf between them widen again. Hazy but all too real. What was he supposed to do now? He knew he couldn't walk away without properly saying something, anything to shift the narrative. His pulse raced at the impending challenge, and he opened his mouth to speak when the man interrupted again. "Are we still on for that dinner?" As Mia's gaze sharpened on the man, Alex's heart fell. Would he lose her again before he even had a chance to fight for her? A simple question hung in the air as the night around them pulsed with life. Was he too late to reclaim the love he had once taken for granted? He needed to decide quickly. It was now or never. Alex's heart thundered in his chest as he watched the man put a hand on Mia's shoulder, a familiar gesture that felt like a punch to the gut. The warmth in her eyes when she met his gaze sent a sharp pang of jealousy coursing through him. He felt trapped in this moment, caught between stepping forward and retreating into the shadows of the night. "Mia, who is this?" He heard his voice break the silence, dripping with uncertainty. What right did he have to join this new chapter of her life? She hesitated, her gaze flicking back to Alex, then to the man still smiling expectantly. "Oh, this is Ethan," the man interjected, extending a friendly hand towards Alex, as if trying to diffuse the tension that crackled between them. "I've heard so much about you." Alex frowned. "You have?" "Yeah, all good things, of course," Ethan said, his tone cordial but tinged with possessiveness. The undercurrents felt palpable, and Alex realized he had to establish some ground. "Mia," he began, though his words faltered. He wanted to say so much more, to plunge into the depths of his feelings. But would she even listen? "Mia and I were just catching up. It's been a while since we last saw each other, right?" Ethan's casual tone felt like a challenge, as if claiming the moment he knew was still Alex's. "Right," Alex replied, forcing out a laugh that sounded hollow even to his ears. "Just like old times." Her smile returned briefly, then faded. The shift in her demeanor troubled him. This was not the reunion he had envisioned, not the healing he hoped for. Instead, he was reminded of all that had slipped through his fingers like sand. "Mia, please," he pressed, desperate for a moment of honesty. "Can we talk? Just for a minute?" The way she hesitated stung. Her eyes flicked to Ethan, then back to Alex, biting her lip as if weighing every option. What would she say? Did she still care? Mia, Ethan interrupted. We should get going. Dinner awaits us, right? The casual reminder was like a thunderclap, drowning out Alex's last hopes. He could feel his anger bubbling up, an instinctual response to the way this man insinuated himself into Mia's life, into her heart. Mia, I still want to make things right between us. Please don't let this moment fade again, Alex said, his voice raw with emotion. I don't know, Alex, she replied softly, vulnerability flickering in her gaze. Things are different now. Don't you think I could change? The words spilled out before he could catch them, desperation choking him. I'm not that boy anymore. I've learned, I promise. Ethan chuckled, as if the very idea of Alex changing was laughable, and it fueled the fire inside Alex. He had to fight. Mia, he continued, fixing her with a steady stare, what we had meant everything to me. I know I messed up, but I can't lose you again without trying. Alex, she sighed, the emotion in her voice nearly breaking him. Was there a chance? Was the past haunting her too? Ethan's grip on Mia began to tighten, drawing her nearer, and Alex's heart raced. Time was slipping away like water through fingers and he had to act. Just give me one chance to show you I am who you deserve, he implored, taking a step closer, the intensity of his confession hanging in the air. Mia's eyes shimmered with unshed tears, and just then, the world around them fell away. In that instant it felt like the night is holding its breath, waiting for her to make a choice. Mia, please. As the moment lingered, Alex's pulse raced, the hope tethered to her response. Would she choose to stand with him or walk away, perhaps to a future he didn't want to imagine? The tension thickened like a palpable force between them, and he felt as if his heart was teetering on the very edge of hope and despair. The next words hung in the air, teetering on a knife's edge, one way leading to a chance at love and the other to the painful grip of loss. What would Mia decide? Would she choose their shared past, or continue into an unknown future? Mia's eyes shimmered, a storm of emotions swirling beneath the surface. Alex could see the struggle within her, the pull of the past battling with the weight of her present. Ethan, still looming nearby, looked between them, his expression a mix of curiosity and annoyance. Look, Mia. Alex pressed on, stepping forward, unwilling to let this moment slip away. I know what you're thinking. It hasn't been easy for either of us. But I can't help but believe that deep down, you still feel something. The way we shared everything, it doesn't just fade away. Her gaze softened, but the shadow of doubt remained. Things are complicated now, Alex. You have to understand. Ethan cleared his throat, a subtle yet clear warning. Sorry to interrupt this heartfelt reunion, but we do have dinner reservations, remember? His tone was polite, but the undertone was unmistakable. He was claiming dominance. This time it was Mia who turned to him, her brow furrowing slightly. Just a moment, Ethan, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. As she leaned toward Alex, he could see the vulnerable girl he once knew, the girl he'd fallen for. What if I've changed? He pleaded, desperation creeping into his voice. I've worked on myself, Mia. I'm not here to make excuses for my past. I just want another chance. At that moment Mia's face flushed and she took a step back. What you're asking is huge. You want me to forget everything? All the hurt? No, I just want you to realize that we can start again, Alex urged. None of this has to be permanent. Just one chance, please. Ethan interjected again, this time more forcefully. Let us go, Mia. You can handle this later, right? I'm sure Alex will still be here. His voice was sharp, and the contrast of it shocked Mia into silence. As she faltered, her hand nervously tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. Frustration bubbled within Alex. He wasn't going to let someone else take her away without a fight. You're making a mistake, Mia, he said, refusing to back down. If you walk away now, you might lose what could be your everything. You deserve happiness, and I know I can be that for you. His heart raced, the weight of every unreleased word pressing heavy against his chest. Mia's eyes filled with conflict. But I don't want to hurt you again, you want. I swear. He took another step closer, closing the gap that felt miles wide. I'd rather risk my heart than live with the regret of not trying. Ethan's impatience was palpable, his irritation pulsing through the air. We really should get going, he pressed. impatience edging into his voice. Mia looked back at Ethan, then once more at Alex, who could feel the heat radiating from her confusion. What should he say to bring her back? Every word felt crucial now, hanging on the edge. Mia, he lowered his voice, letting the honesty seep through. There's nothing I want more than to make things right. But that has to come from both of us. She took a deep breath, indecision lingering heavily around them. Would she choose the familiar flame of comfort with Ethan or risk turning back toward the fire they had together? The stillness of the moment wrapped around them, as dogs barked in the distance and the sound of laughter faded, leaving the three of them caught in an awkward silence. Each heartbeat seemed to echo, taunting him with its rhythm. Waiting. Mia's lips parted, the shine in her eyes a heart-wrenching mix of hope and fear. Alex. Before she could finish, Ethan's hand tightened around her arm, pulling her slightly away from Alex, urgency flashing in his gaze. This is not the time, Mia. Come on, we need to go. It was a pull that sent Alex reeling. Would he lose her before their story could even have a chance to unfold? Mia hesitated, locked in a moment that felt all too fleeting. Would she look back and regret her choice? Just tell me yes or no. I'll fight for you, but you have to show me that you want this too. What answer would she give? As he held his breath, praying for her decision, he watched the door between promise and despair begin to close. Would she step through with him or let it swing shut forever? Mia barely registered Ethan's grip, her mind clouded by the weight of choices looming before her. She felt torn, like her heart was caught in a tug-of-war between the past she had once cherished and a future that felt uncertain yet compelling. Alex's eyes burned into hers, full of pleading. She could almost hear him whisper through the silence that wrapped around them, "Choose me. Ethan, please." She finally managed, her voice gaining strength. "Just give me 1 minute." Ethan frowned and let out an annoyed huff, but he released her, creating a fragile window that allowed Mia to step back toward Alex, the space between them crackling with unspoken words. What if? She hesitated, hope flickering in her chest like a candle battling the wind. What if trying again could mean more hurt? Alex shook his head, urgency returning to his voice. Doesn't he have to be like before? I'm willing to put in the work. We can redefine what we had. She wanted to believe him, but memories flooded her mind, the heartaches, the misunderstandings. They had been so young, so naive. What if I fail you again? She whispered, fighting back tears. I don't want to look back on this with regret. You won. Alex's determination was palpable. I want this, Mia. I'm not stepping back. Not now. Not ever. The intensity in his eyes melted her hesitation, if only for a moment. The connection they shared ignited old butterflies, stirring something long dormant within her. But the golden light of nostalgia was quickly dimmed by Ethan's impatient tapping of his foot, reminding her of her current reality. Mia, we're going to be late. Ethan's interruption was sharp, pulling her back to the present. She turned briefly to him. Caught in amber, she could see the allure of stability in his confident demeanor, but it felt so safe, so routine. With Alex it was different. It buzzed with risk and the promise of change. What's it going to be? Alex's voice broke through her turmoil, filled with raw emotion. Choose now. Mia blinked rapidly, the walls around her thoughts crumbling as she felt the urge to break free, to reclaim the flicker of joy she once knew. But there was also fear. Fear of being hurt again. Fear of dragging someone into her chaotic dance of misunderstandings. Before she could find her words, Ethan stepped closer, determination etching his features. Mia, I don't want to push you, but maybe this is not the right time to decide? What if I can't decide? She wondered aloud, the reality of the crossroads crashing over her. Then I'll wait, Alex replied, voice steady. But what I want to do is walk away without giving you this chance. Just as a hint of a smile threatened to surface on her face, Ethan held her gaze firmly, as if his stare could anchor her to safety, as if all they had built together was enough. We don't have to rush anything, he said, softer now. I'm not trying to take anything from you. I just want to make certain that whatever choice you make, it's the right one for you. Mia's heart raced as she weighed her options, each side beckoning to her with its allure. She felt the weight of the moment, the pressure of choosing between the comfortable embrace of the familiar and the reckless pull of passion and uncertainty. And suddenly, with a glance at Alex, everything in her shifted. She started anew, stepping toward Alex. But just before she could finish her thought, A figure emerged in the distance, her mother, unmistakable and full of worry. Mia's heart sank. Mom. Both Alex and Ethan turned, surprise etched on their faces. Mia, honey, I was looking for you. Her mother called out, urgency in her tone. Mia felt a wave of panic. It wasn't just a distraction. It was the return of their reality crashing over her like a cold wave. What now? Ethan muttered, irritation creeping back into his voice. Mia's mind raced. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. The questions began to swirl, and in an instant, she was on the brink of yet another choice. Would she follow her heart or retreat to safety? As her mother approached, the knot in Mia's stomach tightened. The night was still young, but the storm brewing inside her was far from settled. What would she say when the moment finally settled? Would the answer be enough to break through everything holding her back? Mia's heart raced as her mother drew closer, her expression a mix of concern and urgency. It felt as if a barrier was forming around her, pushing the thrilling possibilities she felt with Alex back into the shadows. Ethan shifted, tension radiating off him. He clearly didn't appreciate the interruption. Mia, we need to talk, her mother said, her voice firm as she cast a quick glance at Ethan and Alex. Mia caught the flicker of judgment in her mother's eyes, the way they appraised the two young men as if they were potential threats to her well-being. The familiar pang of resentment stirred inside Mia. Mom, honey, let us go somewhere private, her mother pressed, the urgency swelling below her calm exterior, as she reached out to take Mia's arm. No, I'm okay right here, Mia said, shaking free. The words felt foreign yet liberating. The knots in her stomach began to unravel a bit. Her mother's gaze softened slightly, frustration diminishing. I just need to know you're safe. You've been distant. Your father and I worry about you. Worried about what? Mia shot back, her voice rising. About me making decisions for myself? Ethan stepped back, choosing the quiet option, while Alex moved closer, emboldened by Mia's defiance. Mia, there's more to life than what, Mom? Mia interrupted. Stability? Routine? Ethan and I have a plan, everything in place, but... Her voice faltered. She felt torn, suddenly aware of how her mother's strict expectations had guided so much of her life. With Alex it feels different. Feels real. The realization hung in the air, and for a moment the world seemed to pause. Alex's eyes sparkled with understanding, as if he'd just been handed the key to the door she had half opened. But her mother frowned, shaking her head. Your heart doesn't guide you when you're young. You need to think about the future. What if this choice leads to pain? Mia bit her lip, the weight of her mother's words cutting deeper than she expected. Then I'll feel, Mia countered, her voice steadier. Isn't that what living is about? Risking pain for the chance at happiness? Ethan stepped forward, his jaw tightened, sensing the emotional tide shifting. Listen, I care about you, Mia. I want you to be happy, but you need to make a choice that's grounded in what's best for your life. This isn't just about feelings. The dynamic shifted again. Mia could feel the heat of two worlds colliding, the raw energy pulsing in the air. She glanced between Alex and Ethan, her heart torn. The warmth of nostalgia tugged at her, but the thrill of the unknown flickered brighter. Mia. Her mother's voice broke through the haze once more. You know your father wants you to be secure. He worries you'll just spend your life chasing after a dream that could end in heartbreak. Just as Mia felt herself slipping back into the safety net her mother provided, a sudden push from Alex shattered that narrative. What about your dreams, Mia? What about the girl who used to believe in adventure? Mia's breath caught in her throat. Her voice trailed off, and she realized she didn't know what to say next. Hadn't anticipated this shifting tide of emotions. What if Alex was right? What if she was meant to reach for something bigger than herself, something wild and vibrant? I need time, she finally admitted, her heart racing with the realization of how much was hanging in the balance. At that moment there was a flicker of hope in Alex's eyes, but a storm brewed in Ethan's. The air felt electric, thick with tension and possibility. What's your heart telling you, Mia? Time is precious, Alex urged, his voice low and filled with urgency. Mia, think about what's at stake, Ethan warned. But Mia was already stepping forward, toward a choice that promised to reawaken the spark inside her. Just as she opened her mouth to speak, an unexpected sound echoed in the distance, a screeching tire, a sharp cry of alarm. The world spun and time froze again. What was happening now? Would the chaos outside intervene in her moment of clarity? Would she finally have to choose not just between two hearts but also how she would confront the unexpected trials ahead? The screech of tires broke through the tension like a shard of glass piercing the air. Mia's heart dropped as she spun toward the source of the sound, dread curling in her stomach. What was that? She whispered, barely audible. Ethan's face paled. Stay back, he instructed. He stepped protectively in front of Mia, shielding her from whatever was about to unfold. Alex's eyes widened as he too turned, his instinct to shield Mia matching Ethan's in urgency. Let us see what's happening, he urged, urgency lacing his tone. Mia's heart hammered as she moved closer, her own curiosity breaking through the fear. The gathering crowd quickly thickened like a living mass, drawing them in like moths to a flame. It felt surreal, their world, the decision she grappling with, suddenly felt trivial up against the threatening chaos pulsing just beyond the veil of their small group. Stay close to me, Ethan said, a hint of protective authority in his voice. I can hear sirens. Someone must have been hurt, Mia said. Her gaze locked onto the growing commotion. She felt a painful pull inside her, not just for the situation, but for the way life could twist unexpectedly, leaving devastation in its wake. I can't just stand here, Alex interrupted, his brows furrowed with concern. What if we can help? There might be people that need us. Mia turned back to her mother, who was now pale and trembling slightly, her hands clenched at her sides. What's wrong? Mia questioned softly, sensing the familiar worry creeping back into her mother's gaze. We don't know what's going on, her mother replied, a hint of panic just under the surface. It's best to stay away. But something stirred within Mia, an urgency that battled against her mother's caution. I want to help, she said, her voice steely even as her pulse quickened. So do I, Alex chimed in, stepping forward. His determination sparked a fire in Mia, igniting the spark of adventure she thought she had lost. Ethan hesitated, caught between keeping Mia safe and risking everything to lend a hand. We should call someone. You're not trained for this, Mia, he argued, his tone softening but still firm. She shook her head, feeling a surge of rebellion. Ethan, what if someone needs us right now? What if we could change the outcome? In that moment, everything sharpened, the sounds of the crowd, the rising sirens, the anxiety tightening her chest. Nothing felt more true than the realization that while life could bring chaos, she wanted to embrace it, to grasp moments tightly. Okay, Alex said, determination flooding his voice. Let us go together, but be careful. As the three of them moved toward the growing crowd, Mia felt a strange combination of fear and exhilaration. This event, unforeseen and chaotic, seemed to shatter the walls she'd been hiding behind. It was more than just a moment of clarity. It was a call to arms for her heart, a chance for connection amid fear. She didn't just want to make a choice about her future. She wanted to engage with it, to fight for it. Once they reached the fray, chaos unfolded in front of them. The scene was frantic, and yet lines of humanity emerged, people helping one another, lending hands, offering hope in their own small ways. The closer Mia got, the more the energy shifted. She locked eyes with Alex, a silent understanding passing between them, while Ethan remained steadfast behind, protecting her every move. Just then, Mia caught sight of something or someone agitatedly waving for help near a flipped car. A dove flickered of recognition danced through her mind, and her heart sank deeper. Is that? Mia breathed, her heart pounding in her ears. What? Ethan urged, his eyes darting toward the scene. As the pieces began to fall into place, Mia seized the moment, her breath cutting through the chaos as she rushed forward, uncertainty morphing into purpose. But would she reach the truth in time? Would this moment define her new path? Or would she have to face the consequences of her courageous leap? The cacophony of noise and emotion swirled around her, leaving everything hanging in the balance. Mia threaded through the crowd, her heart racing. She focused on the figure by the car, the frantic hand waving like a beacon in the storm of noise and chaos. A knot tightened in her chest as she recognized the familiar face. It was Sam, her childhood friend, the one she thought had disappeared from her life. Sam, she called, desperation filling her voice. She pushed past people, urgency driving her forward. She could feel Alex and Ethan at her heels, their concern palpable, But right now all that mattered was getting to him. Hold on, she shouted, weaving between onlookers who were immobilized by fear and uncertainty. Sam's face twisted in frustration, urging her on as he fought against the crumpled metal that trapped him. Mia, get away, he yelled back, his voice strained and raw. The sight of him, battered and scared, sparked fierce determination in her. No, she shouted, her voice cutting through the din. I'm here, I can help. As she reached him, she dropped to her knees, breathless. The wreckage loomed overhead, sharp and jagged. Sam's leg was pinned under the car, and the weight of it bore down on his spirit. Panic threatened to rise in her throat, but she swallowed it down. Just breathe, okay? Mia said, her voice steady despite the chaos around them. She glanced back at Ethan and Alex, who had finally pushed through. We need to lift the car. Are you crazy? Ethan's eyes widened. That's too dangerous. No, we can't leave him, she insisted, grabbing Sam's hand. We can do this together. Alex stepped in, his face set with unshakable resolve. Mia's right. Let us go. Together they positioned themselves at the front of the car, adrenaline pumping through their veins. The world around them faded. It was just them, focused on Sam, their friend. On three, Alex yelled. 1, 2, 3. With a collective grunt they heaved. The car shifted, creaking and groaning as they pushed with everything they had. Muscles strained and the weight felt insurmountable. But Mia's voice became their rallying cry. Tighter. Keep pushing, she urged, feeling the rush of hope fuel her spirits. Little by little the space widened, and Sam scrambled to free himself. I can't, his voice broke as he fought through agony. But Mia wouldn't let fear consume them. Just a little more, she cried, the surge of determination like electricity in her veins. They pushed harder, muscles burning, hearts racing, and finally, with one last effort, the car slid off Sam's leg. Gasping, he tumbled onto the pavement, grasping at the air. Mia fell to his side, pulling him close as shockwaves of relief coursed through her. Sam, are you okay? I think so, he panted, looking up at her with wide eyes. I didn't think anyone would come. Mia's heart swelled, the bond of their past igniting the moment. But just then, the wail of sirens grew closer, breaking the bubble of their reunion. Let us get you out of here, Ethan said, crouching low beside Sam, his voice a mix of urgency and care. As they helped Sam to his feet, Mia caught a glimpse of the chaos around them, the crushed car, the worried faces, but also the hands that reached out to help. Hope filled the cracks of despair. Sam said, his eyes glimmering. I thought I'd lost you. I'm not going anywhere, she replied, her heart thundering, still racing from the fear of losing him again. But as the sirens approached, a new tension filled the air. Would they be separated again? Would they have the chance to heal their past wounds? Or would this moment lead them down paths they never expected? Mia felt the pull of uncertainty, and it gripped her like a vice. What waited just beyond this fleeting moment? The sirens drew nearer, slicing through the weight of the moment like a knife. Mia felt time warp around her, the world outside shrinking as the pressing need to focus on Sam loomed larger. He was alive, right here next to her, but the thought of him being whisked away by an ambulance sent fresh waves of panic hammering at her heart. Sam, we need to sit down, okay? She urged, taking his arm as Ethan supported his other side. He swayed slightly, the shock still clawing at him. I'm fine, he said, clearly trying to muster some strength. I just need a moment. The crowd had shifted, forming an anxious circle around them, the adrenaline of the crowd palpable. Though Mia could see their worried eyes, her focus was pinned on Sam. She searched his face for any sign of injury that demanded immediate attention. You don't look fine, Mia said, her voice trembling. You could have hurt yourself worse. Let's just take a break until the paramedics get here. As they settled him against the side of the vehicle, Sam winced, and Mia's heart tightened. Every flinch felt like a dart to her chest. She brushed a hand through his hair, her touch gentle, as if afraid to break him. Why did you come here? He asked, his voice barely above a whisper. I thought you were gone for good. I thought the same about you, she replied, her heart spilling out, fragile and raw. I've missed you, Sam. When I heard your voice, I thought I might lose you again. Sam's face softened, and in that moment, the chaos around them faded into a dull hum. The bond they had seemed to reach across the years, weaving itself back together thread by thread. But as much as relief washed over Mia, an undercurrent of fear remained. What had changed in Sam's absence? What lurked in the shadows of their past that might consume them again? A paramedic rushed towards them, breaking their moment. "I need to check on him," she said, kneeling beside Sam. "Can you guys step back for a bit?" Mia felt her grip on Sam loosen as she stepped away, but not without casting one last worried glance. "I'll be right here." The medic swiftly assessed his injuries, checking his leg, his arms, his breathing. Sam was answering their questions, but Mia could see the flicker of pain in his eyes. The moments stretched out as they worked, and she felt a familiar sense of helplessness spiral inside her. Alex and Ethan hovered nearby, still tense with their shared experience. "You did an amazing thing, Mia," Alex said, his expression steeped in admiration. "You saved him." "I just did what anyone would do," Mia muttered, brushing her hair behind her ear, still shaken. But something deeper stirred within her, an awakening of strength she hadn't quite recognized until this moment. The paramedics finally stood, nodding. "He's banged up but nothing life-threatening. We'll take him in for further checks." As they prepared to transport Sam, Mia felt an overwhelming urge to chase after them. "Wait, can I come with you?" "Sorry, but only family can go in the ambulance," one medic replied, her voice soft but firm. "This isn't happening. You can't take him away from me again," Mia protested, feeling the cold grip of fear return. But it was Ethan who stepped in next to her, grasping her shoulder. "Mia, you'll see him at the hospital. It's going to be okay." She nodded, though uncertainty clouded her mind. Would this lead to healing? Or a fracture that might never mend? Magic and chaos had a way of colliding when left unexplained. And Mia felt the pull tugging again, the need to align her past with an uncertain future. The ambulance drove away, and Mia watched it vanish into the west, deep shadows swelling against the fading twilight. What path lay ahead? Would it be one of rekindling memories or creating new ones altogether? The truth of their past simmered beneath the surface, ready to erupt. And with every ticking moment, the pieces of their lives were shifting again, creating a shadow of doubt that would test them both. Mia stood in the fading light, her heart tangled in uncertainty as the ambulance disappeared into the distance. The sounds of chaos still echoed in her ears, friends murmuring, the sirens fading, relief mixed with anxiety, hope stretching to the brink. In that moment it all crystallized for her. Her past, her relationships, the choices ahead, each one a thread in the fabric of her life. "Let us head to the hospital," Alex said, stepping closer. His voice was steady, a beacon in the confusion swirling around her. "We can't just stand here. Sam needs us." She nodded, but her mind was racing with thoughts of what just unfolded, her heart squeezing with emotions she couldn't quite untangle. With a hesitant glance toward Ethan, who lingered like a shadow beside her, she took a deep breath. "You're coming too, right?" "Of course," he said, his voice soothing despite the tension simmering beneath. "We all need to be there." And as they walked side by side, Mia felt the swift march of decisions closing in on her. They moved through the crowd, their footsteps mingling with the fading noise of the earlier chaos, hollow but somehow hopeful. At the hospital, the stark lights felt harsh against her skin. The sterile scent of antiseptic hung in the air, and Mia's heart pounded harder with each passing moment. What if he's really hurt? She whispered, her mind spiraling into dark uncertainty. "Hey," Alex said softly, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "He'll be okay. You saved him. You were amazing back there." Her chest swelled with pride and doubt all at once. She had leapt into action because she couldn't stand the thought of feeling helpless again. But would it be enough to bridge the gap of the years lost between her and Sam? "Mia." Ethan's voice broke into her thoughts. He looked at her with a blend of concern and admiration. "You've done something incredible today. Just be patient. We'll learn what's happening soon." The waiting room felt suffocating, the clock ticking like a taunting reminder of their fragile lives. Mia could see Alex's fingers tapping against his leg, the tension radiating from him like heat from a bonfire. She wanted to reach out, to comfort, but her thoughts kept drifting back to Sam. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, a doctor emerged, her expression serious but gentle. "Sam is stable. He's banged up and might need some time to heal, but he's going to be okay." Relief crashed over Mia like a wave, washing away the lingering dread. She felt Alex's hand grip hers tightly, a shared moment of understanding. "Can we see him?" she asked, hope blossoming in her chest. "Give us a moment to get him settled, and then you can," the doctor replied before disappearing down the corridor. As they waited, the gravity of her choices pressed down on her, a palpable weight that felt hard to ignore. She glanced at Alex, his eyes filled with a resolve that mirrored her own. In the safety of shared compassion, she realized there was more to their connection than nostalgia. It was something real, something worth exploring. Mia turned to Ethan, who had been quiet, lost in thought. "I'm sorry about the chaos earlier, Ethan. It's just things are complicated." "Complex is where growth happens," he replied after a moment. "I want you to be happy, Mia. And if that's with Alex," then he paused, swallowing hard. "I'll support you no matter what." The weight of his words settled like a warm embrace. Something began to shift within her. The struggle to choose between safety and risk faded, replaced by a new understanding of what it meant to truly live. Suddenly, the door swung open and Sam was wheeled in, his face pale but a smile breaking through the exhaustion. "Mia!" he breathed, relief flooding his voice. "Sam!" She rushed to his side, enveloping him in a warm embrace. Tears pricked at the corners of her eyes as she buried her face in his shoulder. "You're okay, thank God." "Thanks to you," he replied sincerely, the warmth of his words wrapping around her heart. The moment felt infinite, brimming with promise. Gradually, the echoes of their past began to fade, replaced with the sound of healing and the hope of new beginnings. From behind them, Alex and Ethan exchanged a glance filled with understanding. They respected this moment, the fragility of it. As Sam and Mia reconnected, memories blooming amid the uncertainty. The night was far from over, but something had shifted. Choices would still unfold, but together, they faced whatever came next with open hearts and minds. And as they settled into the embrace of fresh beginnings, Mia felt lighter, as light as the stars twinkling in the night sky, signifying a world full of possibilities, love, and a future that promised to be as bright as the summer they shared so long ago. This was just the beginning of their journey, a new chapter. You need to subscribe now to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, so we can keep sharing these incredible moments. Comment your reactions and feelings about this powerful ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Your support means everything.